Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the Republican ideology that we find in the creation of the United States of America as a nation. And I'm going to talk about the government of the Articles of Confederation, the first attempt to govern the 13 colonies as an independent nation. As I explained at the end of the last video, the American colonies are unique in the history of the time in not wanting to have any king, although some people wanted George Washington to be king. But most people didn't want a monarchy. They saw that as overbearing and restricting their liberties, which was the reason they had fought the Revolutionary War. But many people also didn't want a democracy, didn't want a straight democracy. They saw this as chaotic and dangerous to simply be subjected day in, day out to the whims of the people who shows up to vote. And so we see the development of a representative democracy. Representatives are elected for a particular term to represent the wishes of their people as they understand it from their perspective. And of course, not everyone can vote. Only men can vote, only white men can vote, only white men who meet certain property requirements can vote. Even though certain colonies, now we can call them states, certain states really reduced those property requirements after the American Revolution. So in states like Pennsylvania, most white males were voting by the time we come to the end of the Revolutionary War. But there is recognition with all the colonies at war that there is a need for some form of centralized government. So you have the Continental Congress, but no one really knows exactly what that is or what kind of legal power that it has, what kind of legal authority that it has over the states. And so in the early 1780s, towards the end of the American Revolutionary War, the colonists feel that they have to codify what exactly that authority is. And so this leads to the creation of what's called the Articles of Confederation, essentially the first American Constitution. It establishes the legal authority of the Continental Congress. And the focus of the Articles of Confederation is going to be on protecting the autonomy and the liberty of the individual states. And so the centralized government that the Articles of Confederation provides is going to be very limited. It has the power, the Continental Congress has the power to settle disputes between states and to lead the nation in war. But that is about it. Even in settling disputes between states, the Confederation government does not have the power to enforce its decrees. It doesn't have the ability to tax the citizens of this nation. Any changes to the Confederation have to be approved by unanimous consent. Each of the states have one vote in the Congress of the Articles of Confederation. So it's not based on population within the states, it's just based on the state themselves. So the focus of the Articles of Confederation government, as I said, is about promoting or protecting the freedom and the autonomy of the individual states. It's not so much a relationship between individual people and this national government. It's more of a pyramid scheme. People have a relationship with their states have a relationship with the Confederation government. And that's kind of what the colonies or the states are looking for in the 1770s and the 1780s. It focuses on achieving their liberty. After the Revolutionary War, however, some of the challenges of the Confederation government or the style of Confederation government start to rise to the surface. And a lot of these surround economic concerns. The Confederation government has racked up a major war debt, which needs to be paid. But this government doesn't have the power to enforce the gathering of taxes. They can only request money from the states. And so when the Confederation government requests $8 million from the states to pay for this war debt or pay part of this war debt, the states Like, they look around, they see what they can send, they themselves are strapped for cash, they're not under any obligation, some of them resent this overarching government, and they send $400,000. So the debt isn't getting paid. The issue that goes along with this, there's no currency. It was seen as weighing on the liberty or infringing on the liberty of the states for this national government to issue its own currency. Although they try, again, because they can't raise taxes, there's nothing that's really backing this currency. And so its value disintegrates very quickly. It's seen as only valueless paper money, printed paper money. The Confederation is also struggling as a result of British embargoes. Even though the war had ended, the British, for a number of years after the Revolutionary War, continued to try and punish the United States and treat the United States as an enemy. And so they prevented American merchants from trading in their ports. And so this meant that not only do you have this government that's trying to raise money from the states, but that ordinary people are making far less money. So people have less money, but now they find the states are asking them for taxes, the states who do have the power to ask for taxes. And they don't have the money to pay those taxes. And so you have riots about taxation. Other states try and respond to the British by applying their own tariffs on British goods to make money off the British trading in their ports. But the British simply trade in states that have lower tariffs, and so they manage to get the states competing against one another. And so there's a recognition that there's a need for a stronger centralized government that can settle things like interstate commerce, that can raise taxes to pay off this war debt. And this is what will lead to the construction of the US Constitution, which I'll talk about in the next video.